Different ways to lose weight, and weight loss surgery is just the end of the spectrum. But when we start talking about weight loss strategies, the first one that we should start with, and the one that I think is the most important for long-term success, is diet and exercise. If the patient's not committed to changing their diet and to exercising as an adjunct to that for as much as they can, then they're not going to be successful after weight loss surgery long-term. But diet and exercise is something that should have been tried first, and it's very rare for a patient to actually come to me without having tried that. In fact, most patients have thought about this for about 2 years before they ever talk to an expert like a bariatric surgeon or a bariatrician. So I think diet and exercise is the key. However, there's some very good reasons why your body can't sustain that kind of weight loss. A lot of those have to do with permissive starvation, with the metabolic status of your gut, and with your body thinking that this new weight is its set point. It's sort of like a thermostat in your house. If you set it to 75 degrees, it's going to cool down in the summer to get to 75. It's going to warm up in the winter to get to 75. Your body now thinks that this is the new set point. And people that have diet and exercises can tell you that it's like a roller coaster or a yo-yo, and it's an up and down. And you'll lose weight for about 4 to 6 months, and then there's something undeniable starts to happen. You're smart, you're motivated, you just lost 40 to 60 pounds. Why can't you keep it off? But something happens in your body, and you start to climb back up. And what we see there is that you know it's coming, you know how to get the weight off. Why is it so hard to keep it off? Well, your body is designed to get back to that set point. That's why we have to do something like surgery, to break that set point, to hit a reset button, to break that cycle. Okay, the second thing that we can do as far as losing weight would be behavioral modification. Well, I can explain these operations to a very minute detail, physiologically, how I change an anatomy, how it changes your diet. But what I like to remind the patients of is where the rubber meets the road, where you interact with the operation at the dinner table, where you meet the operation. You're really using it as a behavior modification tool. It'll be impossible for people to eat the way they did prior to surgery. Now, it doesn't mean that your enjoyment of food is gone. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to eat the things you like. It doesn't mean that you can have a glass of wine once in a while, but it does mean that we're going to change quite dramatically the way that you eat for the first year or so. Now, during that year, I think people should really focus on behavior modification, really become mindful of what they're putting in their mouth, really think about the cost of food that they put in their mouth, the physiologic cost. When you calculate that 200 extra calories twice a week, bag of Cheetos, not horrible, is going to be 1/8 of a pound of fat. You do that over a month, it's a 1/2 pound. Now, you might not notice that on your scale. It might be your shoes. It might be that you're having your period and you're retaining water. But in a year, that's 6 pounds. So just like before surgery, those numbers work against us, that math, it works like that after surgery. So I want people to think of behavior modification, very importantly, as an adjunct to postoperative diet and postoperative management of their weight. The next way to lose weight currently in the United States would be to use drugs or drug therapy. Right now, there's about 5 drugs that are on the market that the FDA has approved for treatment of obesity in humans. Most of them are based on a drug called phentermine. It does work, and patients can have up to a 5 to 8% extra body weight loss with these drugs. Often this drug has to be given with another drug to control the side effects that it gives, and you do have to take it for the rest of your life. When we compare those weight loss numbers to gastric bypass or gastric sleeve surgery, we see that we're looking at a 60 to 80% extra body weight loss with surgery. Compare that to the 4 to 8% weight loss, and we see that gastric surgery or weight loss surgery really does outstrip any medical therapy that we have right now. What that sort of boils down to is there's a lot of smart people working on this problem from a pharmacological standpoint, but this problem is very complex. Anybody that has struggled with their weight will realize it's not as simple as just don't eat that or just try harder. Everyone has tried that. And for people to say that in 2017, 2018, that's disingenuous. There's a lot more going on than that we haven't figured out about the gut. And the more questions we answer about what happens in our gut, the more questions we have. So for every answer we get about 10 more questions. We haven't figured it out. But what I can tell you is there won't be a magic switch that we can turn off in your body. Nobody's going to discover that anytime soon, which leads us to weight loss surgery.